6, 7, 8. Tough to count this stuff, you know, when it's got them, their natural edge. 10, 11. Okay. Huh? I'm doing sizing. What do you mean show and tell? Ah, yes, my secret is out. Can you read it? We'll have a look at it later. How many sheets do I need here today? This is for Kawai-san's paper. 10 sheets. Hang on a sec, let me get this paper ready. Stream finally has transcoding so I can watch. Not sure what you mean there. Okay, paper today. Paper sizing. Soup is ready. What's this paper for today? Today, this first batch here, this is for the Hasui job, the new Hasui print that's coming to life. I wonder if that's up on the net. Hang on a second. I should have checked this before. Let me have a look at this. There might be I might be able to send you a link to this. Just a moment. I should have checked before. Hang on a sec. Oh, all I get is coming soon. Okay, well I can send you this link. The Hasui print that Kawai-san is working on, the one made from old blocks that were discovered in America a few years ago. This, I guess, is where the print will be appearing. Kawai-san has finished the first 2 batches and sent them over to the publisher in America. And this is going to be for the next batch. This is not a Mokuhankan publication, actually. We're lending one of our workers, really, to this other publisher to get this print done. We weren't really sure if we should do that because we have so much work available for Kawai-san. We want to keep him busy. But the opportunity came up and it seemed fair enough to let him go. Yeah, this is the Pyongyang, the North Korea image. I don't think it's a top secret at this point. I'm not going to show the image because I'm not the one publishing it. Perhaps he doesn't want it out in the world yet, but it seems that that's where it's going to live. There's going to be a few variations. The publisher has decided to put this out in a few different color variations. And Kawai-san has finished 2 of those and has sent them over, and now there's 2 more coming up. Yeah, of course, reimbursement. I don't remember the exact. Cameron worked it all out with the guy. I know, of course, we'll get paid for the paper. The guy's buying the paper and buying Kawai-san's job. The money's actually going to flow through us, but it's not a Mokuhankan publication. They weren't our blocks, you know. Somebody in America got the blocks, contacted this publisher to set something up. I guess I'm working for free, but it doesn't matter. It's okay. Anything to help Kawai-san get going and get some more experience and get some more jobs. And this is different. This is actually, it's another one. It's the same thing. This is not, this picture here, this paper is not for one of our own jobs. This is something I don't have a sample to show you. Ishikawa-san, another one of our printers, also asked me, can she do some work here for an outside friend of hers who was publishing a print. And yeah, Ishikawa-san normally works for us just Saturdays and Sundays. She has family commitments during the week. And she's finished the last loot print and the last 12th print in the current series. And a friend of hers has got a set of blocks carved and wants her to do a print for her. So that's what this paper is for. So both of these jobs today actually are not from Yokohama. More of the Kiyosada prints there. Good, I'll have a look later on. We're trying to follow those things. Yahoo, you mean here in Japan, you mean? Or... the roughness of the paper, these selvage, it's called in English, it's part of the aesthetic. There's nothing to do with the print. For smaller prints, we have to cut it off. But it's part of the aesthetic. We like the look of having the selvage around the edges, but we can't leave it on all four sides. Okay. I think I get away with using my small brush today. Somebody says, I can't see chat, but he can type in it. How do you do that? How do you type in the chat if you can't see it? Did anyone mention paper out of the freezer this morning? Not yet to my knowledge, but I did do my job. I know Ishikawa-san sent me an email this morning saying, please take my paper out of the freezer. She was really worried about it today because she's got a deck. She's got like 150 loot prints in there. She's just finishing off the December print. Oh, size. Yeah, it would help to get the size ready here. We're working this morning with the leftover. I had 2 liters left over from the group the other day. Chatting with the girls yesterday in the printing room. They had a little bit of trouble with the job they're doing right now, both Rei-chan and Suga-san. They're both doing normal jobs. I think Dei-chan was doing, she's doing a batch of her own print, The Beckoning Cat, which we'll have in the shop next week. And Sugi-san was doing some of the yokai prints as back numbers. And both of them said something interesting. The sizing on the paper they're doing is okay. The whole batch is okay. But a few of the sheets, and they're talking about small sheets cut, from these larger pieces. A half a dozen or so of the sheets the sizing was terrible. It was too weak and the paper was pulling up. We look back at the records, and the batch they're working on right now is the batch that I did of sizing when Jed was here. Was it a week ago or a couple of weeks ago? I don't remember. He sat in one day while I was at the printing bench, I think, or carving, I don't remember. But he also sat in one day up here. And one sheet out of the batch that I sized has terrible sizing. It's too weak. And I guess what happened is I'm sizing here, doing it, talking, next sheet, sizing glue, doing it, Teknite sheets. And I must have forgot one. I must have pulled it down, put it on, then forgot, got mixed up with Jed, then pulled the next sheet and put it on. So the girls, a bunch of their work has been wasted, and they had no way to find out which one it was until they start printing, of course. So distractions. Wasted one sheet of paper. Blame it on Jed. Send a bill. Now, which one is which here? These larger sheets, this is for the Hasui print, and it's going to be overprinted. It's a Shin Hanga print, so we need good, rich liquid here. The other ones, for each Kao-san's job, that's going to be very thin sizing. I might even actually put some water in there. Soak the brush for a minute. How did the demo go yesterday? You got to remind me about this. What's that all about? Oh, the women who were there, nothing formal at all. The women who were on the art tour, just simply the leader asked, Dave, can I do one of the prints in the party room? So there was nothing formal. This wasn't a presentation and all that kind of stuff. It was fun. It's funny, when they were here 2 weeks ago, the lady with the first group, they were here later in the afternoon. It was the last stage on their day before they went back to their hotel. So they stayed a long time, and they went through the shop. I think I used the word badly. I think I said they went through the shop like locusts, picking up prints and stuff. No insult intended, sorry. This time was different. They were here at the beginning of the day. So we did the little demo for them, chatted, showed them this and showed them that. And then they said, okay guys, let's go. We got to get going to the museum the next time. So there wasn't much shopping, but it's okay, whatever. You win some and you lose some. We had fun chatting with them. Soften. It should be peaceful today. There's not so many copies here in the stack. I think I've got, what did I say, 10 of one and 13 of the other, so no big deal. I should be able to get this done with no time pressure. And we got 3 staff today. There's been a frustration for me. My daughter has been here for the past couple of weeks. And during the time when she's been here, the shop has been insanely busy, and lots of staff have booked off. There were some days when there was just one staff here with me. So I wasn't able to go out with my daughter, couldn't go to the museums where they couldn't hang around town. They tried to hang around here a little bit. My daughter left last night for Canada, and now the staff is booked in. 3 staff today, 3 staff tomorrow. I can take time off if I could. It's really frustrating it worked out that way. Really sad. My granddaughter was so much fun. All right, let's do this. Let's get to work. Yes. Serge is coming. He's booked for a print party, Jock. He's a print party on November 10th. I don't have it in front of me here right now. It'll be fun seeing Serge again. I haven't seen him for a few years. Last time he was here, he was on a bing bang run in and out so fast. What Jock is talking about here, the European Woodblock Print Summit Organization. You didn't know we have a big organization in the EU as a backup for our business here. Jacques is the founding member. For those of you who don't know, I should maybe just post it in here. The person you see listed here. Let's put the link in. Here you go. He's using his real name, so I'm sure it's okay to do this. Jacques here, who was saying ha 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 ha. This is his website. Lots and lots and lots of information about prints. Some fun photographs of some blocks and prints he took here. Okay, I gotta get to work. Good start. Those of you who follow our blog also might remember Jacques' name, because his work, his real work, his professional job involves various things about statistics. I don't know the real details or whatever, but he plays with statistics and analysis, things like that for a living. So when we were talking about our sales going up this year, Jacques jumped in and I gave him some figures for the year in the past year. He did an analysis on it to see what was coming up in October and in September, October, November. And I forget the numbers here. September, he hit it right on, like within 1%. He was able to predict what we sold here in the shop. For October, he was a little low. It turned out we had more than what he had predicted. For November, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I should just turn over all my business affairs to Jacques. He obviously knows where we're going better than I do. Yeah, he hit that September number within a fraction of a percentage point. It was good fun. Could I narrate a few steps? Well, I'm doing the sizing, which somebody has just posted about using the robot to put the basic information. I'm not really sure what I can add to it at this point, and that bot command pretty much says what I'm doing. Glue is going on the paper before we can use it. And if you're new here, we really do quite a lot of explanation. When I'm doing something, like the other day, whatever, I was doing some test printing or something, and during the course of the 1.5 hour stream, many new people joined or came in that day. So I did find myself explaining the same thing again and again and again. So we try and keep newbies up to date with what's going on. I certainly can't narrate every step of what I'm doing every time we do it. There is just too much repetition. So I think the chat will help you out. If you've got specific questions, pop them in there, and either myself or other people in the chat will cover for you there. And just so you know, this is not what you see every day. Today's specific job is doing this gluing. Tomorrow we'll be printing. The next day it'll be carving. Something else is going on. It's not always the same scene here every day. We rotate between, well, there's 3 main jobs that I do here. And now and again we toss some other stuff in as well. This is sizing. Some days I'm printing, and most days it's the carving bench is what you'll see. In addition to that, we have other people who work here. Sometimes you'll see one of the girls up here doing the sizing with me, Shiba-san. That usually happens on a Wednesday. That's her day. Yeah, ninja glue. That's an inside joke. She was one of the girls who does with me has a ninja stance. She does this. No, the glue is weak. It doesn't stick the pages together. If I did this gluing and then left the stack together to dry, the stack would be glued together. But what's going to happen, and this might happen off camera at the end of the stream today, is I'm going to apply this glue mixture to both sides of this paper, the front side now. Then you'll see in a minute, I'll flip it over and do the back side. And then before it dries, after the water has seeped a bit through the paper, I will hang them up one by one. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get that on camera today. I'm not sure if there's enough time to get to the end and see that. But after the glue goes on, the sheets are hung up in the room next door and they dry as they hang. And as we move into winter more and more, it's starting to get a bit colder here, bit by bit. You know, we show you this sometimes. I think we peaked at something like 28 or something, I forget there. No, we were up to 30, 34 something, I can't remember. It's down to 20 now in here. This is in early November. So I have reduced the strength of the glue mixture. The glue mixture is high during the summer because the paper's so weak. And in the winter, as the paper gets stronger because of the coldness, we reduce the glue mixture. This is what happened last week, right? I put the piece of paper on it, then I chatted a bit, and I came back and I put the next piece of paper on it. Also, something else of interesting to mention. I know there was a post on John Amos. John Amos, the printmaker from Georgia, who visited here last year for a month or so. He was spending some time hanging out and working in the room here. He made a very interesting post on his website, on his blog this morning, about grinding pigments. He saw the way that we're doing it here, and he cooperated. He, played along, and he followed what we were doing, and he said, oh yeah, that looks cool, that looks cool. He tried doing it, he practiced, and then he went home and said, no way, I can do much better than that. And it's an interesting thing, how much to change and modify and build up on traditions and stuff. And Aoyama-san here, I think they were playing with this while John was here. Aoyama-san, our helper here, he tried to move up from the level of hand grinding pigments. They prepared a magnetic pigment grinder where there's a bowl and this. It sits on a magnetic base and the bowl rolls around hour after hour after hour grinding pigments. So John saw that here, and then he must have said to himself again, well, that's also cool, but I think we can do better than that. So he's got himself a grinder that prepares flour and rice for making Indian food. I would never, ever thought of this. But if you look at, somebody's posted it here. Good. John's using a food grinder to prepare his pigments, and so far so good. It looks pretty good. On the video he showed there, the consistency of the pigments coming out of the machine looked excellent, looked wonderful. I was thinking, yeah, maybe we should buy the same machine and try it out here. But I went to Amazon, and the reviews are terrible. the reviews of that machine he's using looks good, but it's going to break down in 6 weeks, whatever. So I think I'm a little hesitant to buy that one. I'll let John do the experimenting. He can be the sharp edge of the spear, and then we'll find out how it works. But it looked a really interesting idea. Excuse me. Yeah, I don't know about using it wrong. It just seemed like the build quality, and even in John's video, the build quality really looked pretty scrappy, so I don't know. So I'm not trying to shoot him down. The idea looks fabulous, and maybe if it's a bit more expensive machine that might be built a little better, it might be more appropriate for this. So. But the pigments looked fantastic. Yeah, food preparation. So he's using a food grinder. We're using a warmer that keeps soup ready on a hotel smorgasbord. We're just building up. This is all a plot. The Mokohankan Cafe countdown. Somebody showing off Scandinavian diacriticals, right? I can't pronounce that. How do you pronounce it? Smooth. Smooth. I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't think a shaker is going to do it, or a blender. It's got to actually really physically, it's got to physically grind. Shaking and rubbing and mixing in water is nothing. A food processor, nothing. It's got to be two surfaces against each other, grinding to break those particles up into absolutely delicate, fine, not even powder, lighter than powder. It's got to be grinding. Mixing and shaking is not going to cut it. Okay, top surface on group 1 done. We flip it over now and do the back side. How's our time? Half an hour done. We're okay. Shoot. What about molecules or nanopigments? I don't know, but it has got to be really, really fine. Really, really fine. The Japanese used to, back in the Meiji time, there's an analysis of how it's done in Meiji time. And I tried it once with one of my prints. When I made that print, The Scent of Chrysanthemums, I wrote a video, I did a video about that, the woman with the chrysanthemums. I was making a reproduction of a Meiji era Kuchie, and the print I had, the original print, the tints and gradations were delicate, just beyond belief. And I read in a book, the Tokuno book, which is on my website, all scanned, that the way they were grinding their pigments was this. They would grind them first in a mortar pestle, grind them some more, grind them some more. The youngest kid of the totem pole, whatever, grind them some more, grind them some more. Then what they did was, they got the pigment, a little bit of it, in a small shallow dish over a candle flame. And they put a bit of Nikawa glue in there. And then the grinding tool was your ring finger on this shallow dish, around and around and around and around in a very light glue mixture over a candle flame to keep it warm. And you did this again and again and again and again until you could not feel anything. And the point being that your fingertips were the device that told you when it was fine enough. And as the water evaporated, you put a bit more water in, you kept going. And I tried it. I did it that way for that one print. And the gradations on that print turned out beyond belief beautiful. But it wasn't something I felt I could keep up. So I didn't. I went back to the standard mortar pestle, put them in a jar, use it, bang, 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 bang. And for daily use, that's okay. But for absolute top level, top class work, they have to be finer. And I used that method with my ring finger once. And the method John's come up with now here with a a really high quality food grinder may be the way to go here. More energetic. Well, I had, for the first time in a couple of weeks, I had a real night's sleep last night. My kids went home yesterday, and in the last few weeks, I've been getting up early in the morning to try and spend time with them and staying up late. And last night I had my full 8 hours, and I am fine. I am back to normal now. Glass slabs, yeah. I mean, John and I were talking about this. When John was here and saw what we were doing with the wood, he said, look, why don't we use a glass, what are they called, a Mueller and a glass plate? And I just simply said I had no experience with it. John, go for it and try it. And that seems to me perhaps quite efficient as well. You've got this flat glass, you've got a Mueller with a very finely, roughed up texture on the bottom. And that might do it well. It's really a question, I guess, of how much time you want to invest in it. You spend a half an hour grinding, it'll be a certain fineness. You spend 2 hours grinding, it'll be a more delicate fineness. There must be machines, lab machines and stuff, because people are working with pharmaceuticals and whatever. They must have a requirement for this. Ooh, too much liquid, too much liquid. Come on, Dave, be careful. Be careful. Dave caught a goldfish. Yes, that's my dead guppy scoop. Stuff gets in there, nowhere it comes from. There was a hair. Where could it have possibly come from? There's a hair in my soup. Well, you're asking about pigment suppliers. I know John, that post we just posted a few minutes ago, John swears by a place called Sinopia. I think it's Sinopia, Sinopia. I think they're New York or somewhere around there. And he swears by the quality of their stuff. So there are pigment places here and there, because pigments, raw powder pigments and stuff, they're used all over the world. This is nothing just for Japanese printmaking. Raw powder pigments are used in making oil paints, they're used in making watercolor tube paints, they're used in our own work. So actually getting decent raw pigments is not a problem unless you're trying to get the exact same one that was used back in the Edo period and stuff like this. Check that blog post that the John Amos blog post that somebody has put up there. There's all kinds of pigment places available. We complain about it here because we really wanted to use the same ones that have been in use in woodblock printmaking for so many years, So that's why we sort of complain about it here. But actually, really, there's lots and lots of different pigments available, more than enough for doing this kind of work. We're just trying to be a little bit nostalgic because we really wanted to use the same old ones. But there's lots of good stuff out there these days. Red orange, that's trouble. That's really, really trouble. This is where we have trouble. I know in the old days here, red, orange, and oranges came from a couple of different places. One was the traditional pigment they call here tan, T-A-N. It's some kind of mercury compound or whatever. I don't know the chemical derivation. And it was used in the old days before they figured out color printing. They would print a black print, then paint it. And one of the pigments we used was tan. And over a few short years, it starts to go black. It oxidizes very much. Also, what's used is, what's it called? Sulfuretted mercury. It's a kind of vermilion. In Japanese, it's called shuiro. And again, there's similar chemicals that have similar colors, different kinds of vermilion. And they are stunningly, stunningly, stunningly expensive now. You'd get a package of like 5 grams and it's $20, $30. So for us, to get a real good vermilion color in our prints is still a huge problem. So what we're doing these days to get a vermilion color is we're using some of our basic reds, some of our basic yellows, and mixing them with orange and a bit of gray or something to do that. It's not satisfactory. Vermilion is a tough one for us. And I mentioned before, there's lots of pigment places online, the Sinopia, Kramer, Guerrero, whatever. If you look those up too for real, actual vermilion, get your bank book out because you're going to need to pay for it. For those of you who are waiting for Cameron to show up, it's about his time. Today's Sunday. He doesn't come on Sunday. Should be just me here this morning, I think. Ishikawa-san's coming today to print. She might show up during the stream. I don't know what her schedule is today. Friend John Becker here, he's been in the stream lots, of course. I don't know if it's okay. I think he's going to do this. He'll be visiting us sometime in the next few weeks, sometime during November. So he'll probably be sitting in, the John that you see in the stream here. Unless he's going to put a bag over his head, you'll have a chance to see who he is and what he looks like while he's here. He's also cooking up a plan to get a long-range, super long-range photograph of Mokuhankan building taken from space. He can tell you more about it later when he's here. John's a photographer by trade. He knows how to use those tools and that gear, so he's going to let his hair down a bit. John's been a long-time supporter of the work. I forget how long, if he wants to mention. I know he came to my Ome house once to see, and then maybe I think he was even trying to print. I can't remember. We've known each other for a long, long, long time. He's been to the Asakusa shop a few times. September 2007, more than 10 years ago. Look at that. Would that be the first treasure chest job? Not the mistake here. 2007. That must have been the first one. The one with the blue box that sits up on a hinge. Remember, that's before I had employees. It was just me sitting here all by myself. Okay, excuse me. Cover sheet, where's my cover sheet? Okay, this first group is done. This has to wait now for, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes or so before hanging it up. I have another group to do, but before we do that, where can I get rid of this stuff? Okay. That group just sits covered for a while now until it's ready. And people are asking again, don't they stick together? They don't stick together. I'll be hanging it up long before they get dry. If we left it like that, it will become a brick. We're not going to do that. Okay, it's one more batch to do, but let's see, it's 8:47. How are we going to do this? Let's do the little bit of show and tell. Let me bring the camera over. Earthquake time. I think this will work. That might be just about right. Okay. Yesterday's show and tell, yeah, it was super stuff, right, wasn't it? Absolute super stuff. Okay. 3 Sanmai Suzuki prints. Prints that are made in groups of 3. What do you call in English? Triptych. We call triptychs in English. What you're going to see here, this is a set of copies made in... I met these guys. I knew these. Kajikawa Workshop. I met them when I first came to Japan. But these were made before I came here. So this would be, I'm going to just guess, 60s, 70s. No idea. 1960s, 1970s. And what you have, these were made, these are sets of triptychs, and there's 20 triptychs in this box, 10 triptychs in this box, and 10 in the previous box, which I don't have. So this is part 2 of a set of 20. So it starts, if you can read the numbers, with number 11. I think we're okay. Hang on a sec here. Come on, come back to life. Unsupported singing. There we go. I said it was earthquake time. A professional recording studio, this is not. Okay, let's get back to it. Let's look at it. I can't show you all of these. It's going to take way too long. I'll just show a few of them. What they've done is, as I said, these are reproductions of triptychs. The original triptychs were Oban size about something a bit bigger than this. You know, the normal, like the Great Wave print or famous Utamoto prints or whatever. And they've reduced them in size for this series, because my God, it just gets so stunningly expensive. And what they've done is cool. They've put them in a pack here, and they've made a little white folder that holds the 3 prints. And look at this. We should have showed this last week. Halloween. This is Eisen, a triptych by Eisen. And what have we got? We've got courtesans, I guess, on the way out to an assignment. No idea. It's the standard kago that they were traveling in. And they've mounted them like this, so you can see. And the 3 individual prints are handmade prints. And it's too bad they're reduced in size. Now they're nice They're nice. This is not top class work. It's reasonably good work, but not top class. Let's see if I can focus up a bit. How close can we go before this breaks down? Yeah, real good. And they've put them in this folder. It means the prints are split quite a ways apart, so they don't get the real sense of it being one picture. So I think if I had been publishing this, I'd have published it in a bit of a different way. Here's our usual. What are these, dogs? Cats? I guess they're dogs, right? I would have put them in a folder where the prints were mounted a little bit closer together, so you had more of a sense of being a single picture. It's just too broken up this way. Let's have a look at a few more. I haven't actually opened all of these yet, so I don't really know what's in here myself. Oh, look at this, Aizuri. Oh, not such nice printing on this one. All done in shades of blue, what they would call Aizuri. I mean blue. Blue printing, literally blue printing. And what have we got? This is a pond. Are they on ice? Are they in the street? What are they doing here, actually? This is a well over the right-hand side. I'm not quite actually sure what's going on. There's a kid here. He's picked up a piece of ice. This is the ice from the top of a bucket. We have incipient plum blossoms here. So this is late winter, early spring. Somebody's fallen down. He's been carrying something. She's looking shocked. Stilts with a thing in his mouth. What's going on? Is kids playing, is it? Kids playing in the snow and ice, I guess. Women and kids. And indigo is difficult to print with, you know. It gets really blotchy and blurry. To make a good, rich color, you got to lay it on there pretty thick. And they haven't done a really nice job with the hair. What comes with the territory. If you want to make an Aizuri, that's what you work with. But it's very difficult to get a deep blue and to get delicate lines. I think I would have split them onto different blocks, but whatever. Also, you've got some Nijimi. And when they printed the background, a bit too much water and it blurred a little bit around the edge. This is tough stuff. Very, very tough. Let's see a few more before going back to work. This is Utamaro. Soka. This is good. Oh, I see. There's going to be a 6-parter here. Let's have a look. Just a minute. Oh, that's a different one. No idea. What they've got here, this is a very famous design by Utamaro, showing the Ryogoku Bashi, the bridge, one of the bridges in Edo. And the bottom part of the triptych, this is the top part of the triptych. The top part of the triptych is women on the bridge, and it's not a triptych, there's 6. Hexaptic, I don't know what the word is. There's 6. This is the top 3, and there are 3 more below, showing another crowd of women below the bridge. And maybe that's in this set too, I don't have any idea. If we have all 6 here, that would be a nice little spectacular item. Again, this is reasonable level work. This is not really top quality work. This publisher, it's published by Kajikawa-san. I met him when I came here in the early 80s. He was a printer and he ran a quasi-publishing workshop. So he did printing work for other people, and he also cut and prepared blocks. He hired carvers to prepare blocks. So he did publishing as well. He's gone now. His son's gone too as well, so there's nobody left there. These blocks are probably just in storage somewhere. But I knew him just about the time when this thing would have, just after this would have been published. They're fun. If we've got all 6, that will really be fun. We'll have to make a nice display of that if we have all 6. And in case anybody's asking, these are not going to go in the shop for sale. We'll be keeping these. And if we get another set later sometime, yeah, we'll put them in the shop. But at the moment, they're just going to stay here. Do we have the top? Do we have the bottom? Have a look. It looks like we don't have the other 3. It could be that they didn't publish them, or they're in the other part of the set. No, here it is. Here it is. We've got it. Look at this. Number 19. Hee 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 hee. We've got all 6. This looks like it's never been opened, you know. That's really common with these prints. Someone would start subscribing to a set of prints. They enjoy the first set, the second set, and then... So here we are. This is the one that goes below the one you just saw. This is the supports of the bridge. All those women are up top, and now here, these are at the bottom. Septics will be 7 to show. This is 6, not 7. Let's see if we can look at these together. I'll have to zoom back a bit. Just a second. Let's see, look at these things all together. So here we are, a set of 6. Will it balance up here? All right, here we go. And again, this is the wrong kind of packaging. It should have been packaged somehow so you could actually put them together and look at them. And this is a set of 6 prints that goes together as a full montage. When we get our little display room worked out, our collection is going on display and stuff. When we get a display room worked out, we'll have a nice... Look at this. They've reinforced this bridge with these metal wedges. That can't be the way it was made, surely. What crappy construction. Look at this. What you're seeing here, this is a boat, one of the yatai. No, yakatabune, yatai. Get my Japanese fixed. Yakatabune, the pleasure boats that would go up and down the Sumida River. And this is parked underneath the bridge. The girls are getting on and off. This is a sake cup. Cool, lots of interesting stuff to see here. You could look at this one all day. Jacques found an image, good. On his own website, good, good, good. Thank you, Jacques-san. The ones Jacques probably got are the real Oban. These are slightly reduced in size, slightly shrunk. This is not top class work here. Thank you, Jacques-san. There's another aspect to these Showa era prints. Look at this, look what's happening. You can see the paper, the packing paper is way lower quality than the printing paper. And with all of these Showa era prints, they will start to go foxed if you don't get them out of this paper. So all of our collection, one by one, bit by bit by bit, we're taking them out of these original Showa era packages. of the store. We'll keep the packaging separately. Put it back at the back there. Okay, we should get going back to our work. Let's see. Let's look at the very last one. I don't know how they closed the series. Number 20. How did they close off the series? This is Kuniyoshi. What have we got? Oh, I don't know this one. What's this? I've never seen this before. Oh, this is Asakusa. This is Asakusa. Komagata. I walked past that last night after I dropped my kids off at the train station. We came right out. The entrance to the Asakusa subway station is right next to Komagata-do, which is the building you see here in outline. I was here yesterday afternoon. And what's happening? Just a street scene, eh? Morning at near Komagata-do. So it's a morning scene near Komagata-do. There's your taxi service, men carrying the kago palanquins around, and 3 women out with their kids, their family. And this is about a 5 minutes walk from my workshop right here. I was there yesterday afternoon. I've never seen this before. It's a shadow, interesting shadow print, eh? Komagata no Asagiri. The ancestor of the shoe lady. Okay, let's get back to work. Let's get back to work. Let's get back to work. It's fun living here, you know, in the same environment where these prints were created and made, you know. It's fun. That print is just down the street from here. Okay. Not enough time for the whole set, but thanks for hanging around while we show these. Our paper is waiting. Let's get the camera back. Earthquake time. So you know, right, we've got our fiber storage, mulberry fibers up there. Some of that will be leaving soon. We were talking to Soaksan. He's going to take some and start working very soon. This is our washi, the first level of washi storage. The paper that we're using day by day is in here. In the back room, we can't see it from here past those shirts, is our longer term washi storage. This is the place where we're using our glues and stuff for making blocks, and that's the little press we use for calendaring paper. And this is our pigment storage cabinet, and we had a bit of a change last week, a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if I told you about this. This is the pigment storage cabinet. These are the drawers where pigments are kept. All of our pigments in jars, like John has done with his pigments. But because we had to put covering on each drawer, because the rats were going in there, we had pigment packages chewed up by our rodent friends here. So it's a non-stop defense, defense, defense against the rats. Okay, let's get this reset. Okay, sorry about the sidetrack. Our printed blocks, no, we just wash them. We just wash, just water. There's no other treatment for our blocks other than water. We just wash. I'm really not sure what to do here now, 9:05. If I start the next batch of this, that's going to take 20 minutes, but I should be hanging that stuff up. But I can't hang it up within view of the camera here. Should we try it? The camera's not here to help me move this stuff around, but if I can unplug the camera here. Let me try this. for those of you who've seen this before, you know what I'm going to try and do. For new members here, just a minute, it's going to get a bit chaotic. I've got to unplug the camera, so you'll see the no signal message. I will keep the Wi-Fi connected. I will take the power off the camera. I'll move the computer first to the other room. Then I will come back and I will move the camera and connect it with it. So it's going to be a bit chaotic for the next couple of minutes here. The stream may go down. If it does, I'll come back up as soon as we can. So, point one, main camera is going down. And I will try and move the computer to the next room. Is that, just let me get the cords clear here. That's clear, this is clear, this is clear. Okay, we're going to attempt to move to the next room. Camera going. Coming back up, the audio should have come back too, right? The audio is probably here. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. The audio went down, of course, when we unplugged the main camera. Oh, we made it. Okay, zoom out. Here we are. Did we crash? Did we go down? Where are we at? Are we up? People are still talking. Looks like we're good. Did I make it? Did we pull it off? Our sound is back. Yes, I should have mentioned the sound would go down when we unplug the main camera. Okay, let's do this. I'll go get the paper now and we'll hang it up. Excuse me. What else could have gone wrong? We're still okay, right? Here we are. Good. Okay, now the paper is now face down. When I first did the sizing, I started by doing sizing on the top surface of the paper. We then flipped it over and I did the sizing on the bottom surface. So these are now face down, the full stack. Here's what I'm going to do. I'll take one sheet. We've explained this before a million times. One sheet which is face down and flip it over. So that first sheet is now face up, but the second sheet is still face down. I'm going to take the two sheets together, tease them out. So we have two sheets of paper now that are sitting there back to back. Get my handy dandy three-handed clipper. Clip the paper. Back-to-back sheets and up they go. And they will now comfortably dry over the course of the morning and afternoon, if I hope. I should move the, no, hang on a sec, let me move that out of the way. Bingo. And they don't stick. Again, people always ask the same thing. They're glued. The glue mixture is so light. It's really a thin, light glue. There's no stink, there's no smell, there's no nothing. It's extremely light. It's about 60 grams of glue per liter of water. Nice and smooth. The sizing has gone very well today. Nice and smooth. The water is spread out well. And a few months from now, a few weeks from now, these sheets of paper will be beautiful Hassuri wood block prints. And man, at the moment, this paper is soft and delicate. One bash with your hand and it's game over. Any marks or taps or twists or folds at this point become permanent. Because when the wet glue dries, it just takes the shape of whatever it's at. It's fun, isn't it? Oops. Dave, don't fool around. This room has changed a bit. Do you see what's behind me? There's a thing on the ceiling there. Why would we need a little room there with curtains? What's the purpose of that? Prayer room? No, it's a breastfeeding room. Oh my God, we have a breastfeeding room here. The shower's at the other end, back when you saw me hanging my laundry the other day. That's the shower's back there, right next to the laundry hanging station. No, it's a breastfeeding room, baby changing. We have one of our staff, Aimi-san. She's got a 6-month-old kid now. No, born in April, 7-month-old. Time goes by. And it hasn't really been successful. She's tried to come and do some printing with the baby with her, but honestly speaking, I think it's too soon, and it really seems to be too soon. She can't get more than a few minutes work done at a time before the kid needs attention, so I think it was a bit premature to get this set up, but she wanted us to give it a try, and we're game. If she wants to try it, we're game to try it. But the kid is still too young. So we're ready when she's ready. There's a workbench right behind me here. There's a printer's workstation, and right next to it, the bedding and the small area. So this whole room has become the sort of kindergarten area. but it's a bit too soon. Well, we're getting near the end of this here, so when I get to the end of this stack, we'll be shutting this down for today. I've got to get downstairs. We've got 3 full staff members down there, so actually I'm not needed. I won't be doing all the parties. I'll be helping with the parties because we're still breaking in the microwave blocks. Some of the staff members don't have experience with them yet, so I'll be working in the party room today, but I won't be leading the parties. And what I will be doing once they get set up is I'm coming back up here to do more test printing on the gift print, because the gift print has got to get out of here. So where are we? Today's Sunday. Tomorrow then Monday will be a regular stream. We've got one more day of streaming this week. Tuesdays is my day off streaming. But we have one more day. Today's Sunday. And tomorrow's stream will be, I don't know. It might be test printing on the gift print if I still haven't had a chance to do that. I don't know, just I can't predict. It's almost impossible to predict these days. I don't know what tomorrow's stream will be. St. Valentine gift print, give me a break. Natsumatsuri Summer Festival gift print. Where are we going to get with that thing? I don't know. It's got to go. Actually, there really is a pressure on me now. Paper is cut and wet. Sugu-san is printing the gift print from Monday morning. She's ready to go. She's got the paper wet. She is here Monday morning to start printing the gift print. So that's my super deadline. Whatever I'm doing, I'm staying up late Sunday night or whatever. It has got to be planned before Monday morning. As in actually tomorrow morning, because today's Sunday. So that's it. I won't be doing test printing on the gift print in tomorrow's stream because it has to be finished before then. Whatever, we'll see what happens. I don't know. Now we have to dry this stuff as slowly as possible. If it dries too fast, it gets all terribly distorted. So we try and dry it slowly. We'll keep the doors to this room closed during the day. Okay, let's go. We're done. It's 9:19, a few minutes early to sign off, but whatever, that's the way the work is done. Tomorrow's stream will be TBA, to be announced. I don't know what it'll be. And then Tuesday will be off. There we have it. Thanks so much, guys. I'll be back one more day from now doing something. Thanks for following along. I hope it's been a bit interesting. And pleased to see new faces. Thank you very much for joining. To repeat again, it's not the same thing every day here. Tomorrow I'll be doing something else. A few days later I'll be doing something else. So there's a bit of variation. So drop back now and then and see how it goes. You can see that. Should we do that again? Can I zoom in on that screen? What happens if we zoom in on the screen that's zoomed in on the screen that's zoomed in on the screen? What do we see? Does it work? Is it focused? Cool. Okay, guys. Thanks very much. See you later. Bye for now. Where's the stop streaming button? Can we see it? It's just down here. Bye for now.